A routine traffic stop ends with bloodshed. Take a look.
He's very compliant. He does have a pistol on him, so we're going to take him out from that side, remove the pistol, and we'll go from there. All right?
Get up?
Yeah. Yeah, you're good. I appreciate it, man, being very honest.
Oh, yeah, all right.
You okay? Hey. Put the gun down. Put it down. You okay? You got shot in the leg.
Oh my goodness, so what we just saw there was the moment that Jason Arrington was shot in the leg with his own firearm while complying with police. He told police he had a gun. They said that they would remove it for him. They had him put his hands on the car, as you just saw, and while that female officer was taking the gun out of his waistband, she accidentally shoots him with that gun in the leg, according to police. Now, they have terminated her after they did an internal investigation, and we're told that Mr. Arrington is recovering from his injury. So this morning, let's talk about the fact that this shooting even happened the way it happened, and then also the fact that this officer's now been fired. Was that justified? Okay, Tommy Pope, let me start with you, please. For anybody wondering, how in the world does this happen? How in the world does this happen? Would you kind of explain to us what you think occurred when she was taking that gun out?
Sure, I do want to put in a word from our sponsor. Kirk said I was doing defense work. Now, I want to tell you, I would take this civil case. I don't know about that last civil case that we saw at the top of the hour, but I would take this one. But Julie, you know, firearms have different means of safeties, and I've read the internal investigation, and there was kind of a combination of errors. The victim could not have been more compliant. He told him, he even offered to loosen his belt because he had it in a holster inside the belt. I used to carry mine when I worked narcotics without a holster. But so the holster, according to whether it's attached to the belt or not, it can create some resistance. The ideal thing would have been to take the whole holster and everything out, but apparently even the video showed, or the internal investigation yielded, that she had maybe 2 fingers inside the trigger guard. And so apparently, I think it looks like it's a semi-automatic, but apparently there was one in the chamber. And so that's an additional safety. You always see people on TV racking them in. That's because you don't keep one under the firing pin just for safety. But apparently there was. But so basically, when she's trying to tug it out, she is pulling against the trigger. And I think the investigation said that she tugged 2 or 3 times and basically had fingers on the trigger. And, you know, instead of pulling up by the grip, you're pulling up by the trigger, and caused him to get injured.
And Tommy, that was just a perfect explainer. Thank you for that. And just to follow up, please, with firearm safety, one never, ever would want to put their finger on the trigger unless they're ready to shoot. Am I right?
Amen. Amen.
And so now we have this officer who surely was taught that, going through the academy, this officer or deputy, whatever she is, I think she may be a sheriff's deputy, had to have been taught that, and now she's been terminated. Kirk Nurmi, let me go to you on that point. They did this swiftly, this internal investigation and termination. Your thoughts on that after you watch the video and see what happened here?
Well, what an amazing show we're having this morning. Julie, Tommy's now doing criminal defense work and personal injury. We're not even done with the show yet. But no. Yeah, I mean,
Go, Tommy.
The firing is completely justified. I mean, we think about what you just said, right? Not putting pressure on the trigger. The officer must have been trained in that regard. And that's exactly that's going to be part of the opening statement should this civil suit ever get to trial, right? Because it was so grossly negligent. And that's why they were able, I think, to get away with firing her so quickly. The response was quick. They're trying to mitigate the damage here. I bet the city lawyers are already trying to figure out how they can mitigate the damage of this if it goes to a civil trial, because you have a completely compliant individual doing everything he can, and for his kindness, he gets shot in the leg by an officer who's not paying attention to what she's doing. So the ramifications here are going to be civil, and I hope they're very severe against this police department.
Yes, yes, Kirk. Amen. And thank you for reiterating that. Yeah, I'm so focused on watching him. I've seen that video multiple times. I wasn't looking at the back of her jacket. She's not a deputy. She's a police officer, and no longer a police officer, rightfully so after this. This was deplorable. Tommy, maybe this guy will call you. We know you'll take his case. I'm so glad you and Kirk are on the show this morning. You guys are the best.